Hey, so I'm just getting into doing some work on Galcon 3 this morning, and it's been a couple weeks since I've gotten to work on it. Last weekend we were out of town for a little trip here, so I'm just gonna play the game for a few minutes just to see what feels like it really needs. If I were to pick anything, like what do I want to do, right? So I'm just gonna start out playing some single player. I feel like the aesthetic of the actual gameplay is pretty close to what I want. I think there's some small improvements I could be making, yet the explosions are not seeming great. And I'm still debating on the ships. I might actually switch the ships over to, instead of being line art, be just bitmaps again, so that it's easier just to create lots of them. Creating the line art ones, I have to use like a custom tool to create them, and I think that might just be an easier way for me to get this game looking good and having a lot of ships, because it's one thing I did a lot in Galcon 2 is I would go out, scour on the internet, find like icon packs, right? And then it's just, an afternoon of like resizing and shaping the icon packs and being able to just ship them there. And it was really an easy way to make a lot of more content for the game. Whereas this, you can see they got like the nice line aesthetic to them, but it's limits what I can do with it, and I'm not sure if that's greater. And I think the glow and everything has come out really nice. The last time I worked on this game, I worked on getting like a really good variety of different planet types here. But one thing that does bother me is, like, you can see when I'm going from planet to planet, there's a ton of visual artifacts. Not too bothered by the frame rate not being perfect between some of this stuff. I think that's maybe okay. I feel like it's a little bit annoying that when you attack a star, you see it explodes and changes hands before you even get to it. Like, that whole animation was not great. So I really feel like I want to fix up those animations, and just, even if I'm keeping how the galaxy map works as pretty simple, I would like it to at least work, pretty smoothly. So I think I'm gonna go to work on just improving all that for a little while and come back a bit later and see how we're doing. After doing a bit of thinking about it, I think I'm actually going to switch over to working on the matchmaking and core game loop of the game for a bit, so we'll see how that goes. So as I'm working on this matchmaking stuff, I'm really trying to figure out like what's going to be the overall dynamic of this game, right? I've just been sketching out how matches will start, right? We gather up all the users who've been hanging out for 10 seconds or something. We shuffle them, and then we gonna divvy them up into different rooms where they can play their matches. One of the nice things about having it just be two teams that we're playing with in Galcon is that you've got sort of like a 50% chance of winning a match, which means you've got more of a chance of winning, and then you get to go to the galaxy map and use your win to affect the overall like meta narrative of the game. It's going to take some experimentation to find out what really works the best for Galcon 3. So just wanted to give you a quick peek at the progress of this feature so far. I'm trying to get lobbies and matchmaking and everything to work. So we click login, and now we're in sort of a countdown waiting for myself to get match made into a room, right? I'm in a lobby here. It's going to automatically start up a game, and we're doing sort of like a best 3 of 5 type of a series. And we'll surrender one more time, and this time it's the end of the best of 3 match, so we get kicked back to the matchmaking screen where we've got the countdown. So that's kind of the flow here. So as I'm testing it out, it's a lot of like going through round after round after round just to see that the flow is going the way I want it to go. Kind of color problems going on here. Like this has the blue outline, but so do these have the blue outline, and I'm actually on the same team as the white guy over here, which I'm actually on the red team, so I feel like it's really hard to tell who's on what team just by looking at it. Original Galcon, it did, the planet colors were really apparent, so the auras around them could show that differentiation. So I'll play around with it and see what I can do with that. Okay, I've done some tweaking to that. I think it's a bit more readable as to which team the players are on. You can always see the rings on the outside indicate the team, just like in previous Galcons, and then the color on the inside indicates your... Alright, so I did a few more tweaks on the visuals here, and I think now it's actually pretty easy to tell which team is which team. So we got the blue circles, right? We got the blue team. The red circles are the red team. Yeah, I think these changes made it a lot easier to tell who is what. Do some play testing, hopefully with the community tomorrow, but this will be my last video for Friday, and we'll see how things go tomorrow. Hey, it's Saturday morning here. I've got a day ahead of me to work on Galcon. I'm going to do some thinking about the soundtrack for the game this morning, but most of my time is going to be spent working on getting the matchmaking up and running, because I'm hoping to do a playtest later today and see how well that works. I did a survey last week to see what people thought. What was interesting to me is that the play group competitive game got 0 votes. Everything else got sort of a, somewhere in between there. Spectate in progress match, I feel like isn't gonna work so well for what I'm going for here, because it's kind of like the queue of people that are building up before you get to play. So I think I might be looking at making it maybe a combination of just hang out and chat and playing a daily challenge solo minigame. So we'll see how that goes today. Hey, so I've been working on the matchmaking here this morning. Just wanted to show you what I've got right now. We'll log in here. So you can see we've got this matchmaking screen with a countdown for 30 seconds till we're ready to start playing. So I've done some improvement to the pre-match screen. Check this out here. So we've got a countdown at the top. We've got real clear indication of the two teams and their current winnings here. We'll surrender again just so you can see that screen again. But yeah, now you can see the red team is 1-1. That's that. First to 3 wins. So screen here now where you'll actually be able to play a mini game while you're playing, and it's not quite working, but I thought it was kind of fun. So check this out. It's using one of my Vex mods to create this whole screen. You can see that it sort of works. You can't actually see the ships or really what's going on, but I've just got a bit more to do there. It's kind of exciting that it's all flashing and flickering. Down here you can kind of see the synchronization between the mods and the actual game. And then if we click the pause button, I don't have that wired up correctly, but then you can see the Galcon game kind of fighting with this screen and so on and so forth. And if you click mini game, it gives you a new game. So anyways, a little bit of work to do to get this all working, but it seems like it's mostly getting wired together now, so that's nice. And you can also play the mini game, which is sort of a vacuum style game here where you just try to take out all the planets. This is all just running completely client side. That makes it so that you're still actually in the main lobby, so you can see the countdown up here for when the lobby is going to open, but then it tracks like the high score for the minigame as well. You're always still in the lobby, so even while you're playing the minigame, you're still in the main lobby, and if you're in the mode where it says you're in the queue, you'll still get put into a game the second that game actually starts. Multiplayer testing is always kind of a bit of a challenge here, but I've got this thing where I can just quickly start up 4 different copies of the game. So I'm going to log in all 4 copies. And what I'm trying to test here is if I have a couple of these people in the mini game, one of them just away playing the mini game, and this one also playing the mini game. When the countdown gets down to 0, I want to see that the 3 players in the bottom left, half of the screen, end up getting pulled into the next match. And so you see these guys are in the match, but this one is still left over here playing this thing. Hey, it's a week later, Friday morning, working on Galcon again. You can see over here I've got my list of to-do items for this weekend. I'm not sure if I'm going to get through this whole list. I'm really going to try to grind through all of the major bugs. First off, before I get to the new features, these all came out of doing the play testing a couple times over the last week. Just wasted an hour this morning working on the AFK detection because I wanted it to have a message that showed up that said like Phil is AFK if I go AFK during the game. and that message was never showing up. It turned out that my censorship system was eliminating the word AFK, and it took me a while to figure that out. So now I've eased up how some of the censorship works, at least to show it with stars. I'm gonna have to do more work on that later, but it's not a critical thing. At least the message comes through even if AFK gets starred out right now. So been working on getting it so that if players drop out or go away or whatever during a match, that a bot gets substituted in for them. So this guy is just gonna go leave, and this guy is gonna be away, and we'll see that the other team has been replaced with bots. You can see there's like a little tilde in front of their name to indicate that they're a bot, but these two players are still totally real. So makes it so the bots being part of the game are not is pretty seamless with the list of players in the game, so it doesn't disrupt like the flow of the match if someone disconnects or they leave or they're just AFK. You know, the enemy ones, because they don't show their numbers. What I have eliminated though is showing two colors at the same time when you're in play here. Now it's just totally whether or not you can see the numbers helps you know what team it is, which I think makes it a lot easier to read, a lot simpler visually. You know, it's like these are your teammates, these guys are not your teammates. Changes to the background so it's not animated in the web browser. I think that'll make it a lot quicker. And now you can see which team you're on, because I also improved how the monochrome mode works. I mean, it's very monochromatic, and I've been working a good bit to make sure that the game is playable in monochrome mode. I think this is important because that means the game is colorblind friendly no matter what. And definitely the biggest problem that I'm seeing so far today is that the end of the match does not end, and people can keep sending ships around for a while. Hey, so that's the update for this week. Hope you enjoyed that. Seems like there's been a lot of good changes. There's still some bugs to go, and we'll see how it keeps coming along. I'm liking how the matchmaking loop is feeling though, so definitely appreciate any feedback. I've also got a composer signed up to work on the game, so it'll be fun to get some music in soon too. We'll catch you. Thanks so much for playing. Bye.